Hello everybody, what's up? My name is RapidCat45 here, and today Nintendo just dropped a bomb on all of us Nintendo fans. And it's mad. It's insane. I'm so hyped to tell you guys this is absolutely ridiculous. Nintendo finally told us what the NX is. Well, they kind of showed a video. So if you haven't seen that video, you need to go see that now before you even look at this video, so that you know what the video is, and so I can talk about it. Okay, so, or if you don't feel like watching it, you don't have to, because I'm about to explain to you what it pretty much is. Okay, so it's also, before we continue, then it's not called the Nintendo NX, it is called the Nintendo Switch, and we're about to find out why. So, at the start of this video that Nintendo has released, this person was just playing on your controller. It looked very similar to the Xbox 360 controller, but it definitely was different. It's Nintendo's own controller that they made. And with this controller, when he got off the couch, to what looks like he's going to stop playing his game, and does a close-up on the Nintendo NX itself. So the Nintendo NX looks similar to the GameCube, but looks, instead it's like very black and very uniform, right? The Nintendo GameCube looked more like I don't know, like more, since it was like purple, it kind of looked a little bit more like on the kid side, but it's definitely cool. The Nintendo NX, you gotta watch the video at some point. If you're gonna watch it now or later, you have to watch it. And then the Nintendo Switch. So it looks like he's gonna put the controller down, but he takes two sides off. The sides that have the thumbstick, A, B, X, Y, and I don't know what the bottom one was. So he takes those two sides off, puts it on the Nintendo NX on the side. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Why would you need to hold your controllers? And he takes it off, and what very similarly looks like is the Wii U Gamepad. It looks really similar to the Nintendo Gamepad because, you get your stuff on this side and your stuff on this side. So just imagine the Nintendo GameCube or Wii U Gamepad without the sides, and then slamming sides onto it. Is kind of what it is, really. And so you can take off this side and this side. Obviously, the buttons are different on the Nintendo Switch, so you guys can go ahead and see that for yourselves. But I'm just gonna put the gamepad back here. So the Nintendo NX. So he takes it outside because this screen is not a touchscreen anymore, or at least it looks like it. To me, this is what I think. It's just your average TV screen, but just on a smaller form, so that you can still play on it on the go. Because you can't have two screens at once if you're going on the go. So surely that's how they did it. It's just like your Xbox and stuff now, and your PlayStations. It's just one screen, but now it's on the controller rather than having two screens like the 3DS. So they went back to one screen only. However, what's interesting enough is that when there's a stand on the back of this thing that when you put it back up, when you stand it up, it can stand on its own, obviously. It's a stand. And then you can take these little sides off and have two different controllers. And so you can just be playing your game on a plane. That's the example that Nintendo used. Or you can play with friends. Like, there was a Mario Kart game. I don't know if it was Mario Kart 8 or if they're actually going to have a Mario Kart 9. Who knows? But he took one off, and he gave his friend one, and they were both playing. And so somebody was using this side, and somebody was using this side, and they were playing Mario Kart. I'm like, that's so cool. You don't even have to buy two controllers right out of the gate. You can just literally use the ones that Nintendo has supplied you with. And, I think that's so cool. So it's the Nintendo Switch because it can be a home console or on-the-go console. So now that we've talked about what the Nintendo NX is, this is how I feel towards it. Personally, I really like the idea. I think it's cool that because I think this will definitely help Nintendo gain more money because they will be the price or blah. I think Nintendo will definitely get more people to buy it because now you can play your games on the go and on the home console like Xbox and PlayStation. You couldn't really do. I mean, PlayStation you could with the PS Vita or the PSP, but the PlayStation Vita is the new one, so the PS Vita. But that thing is expensive, and this, Nintendo NX. As soon as you buy the NX, then the Switch, the Nintendo Switch. That's all you really need, and then of course you gotta buy the games. Oh, and one other thing, the Nintendo NX is going back to cartridges the cartridges, you didn't really get to see much, but it looks similar to a SD card rather than a 3DS or a DS cartridge. So they have gotten slimmer once again. Yeah. But he didn't pull out a stylus or anything, so I don't think the main screen's a touchscreen. But back to what I was saying. So that's really cool because now you can play your games on the go, which I think is going to be a lot more helpful for people to buy because they're going to want to get that. Because again, the graphics are improved. We don't know anything on the specs yet, but I'm assuming it's got to be on par with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. It has to be somewhere in there when it launches. Whenever they decide, when they release it, I think it's sometime in May or something. But it needs to be like graphic wise with at least Xbox One or PlayStation 4. If not, then it needs to be better. If they really want people to buy this thing. Sorry about that. Second thing is, with me, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to really like the fact that the NX is like a system that you can just take with you. Like, that is cool, but the only thing is, if it's replacing the handheld line, that's not going to be very cool, because that means you have to have two Nintendo NXs. Which leads to then another question is, how much is it? Because if it's the same price as like a 3DS, then it's fine, because then you can just have your own NXs. But if it's like the price of like the Wii U, then clearly, I mean, it's supposed to be a home console. And so if it's like the same price as a Wii U, then it's going to be a lot harder, because like, then how, I'm thinking like my siblings, I only have one, but what am I going to do? Like, because we both can't, we'd have to share the NX, or we could buy two, like the 3DS, because it's handheld. So I don't know if it's the price point. I think is really what's going to determine it. If it's going to be like $300 like the Wii U was, then I don't think it's going to be very nice, because then you have to pay quite a bit to even play multiplayer. But then again, it kind of does resolve that thing with the two sides coming off. So I guess if it is $300 or more, because it's going to be more powerful, hopefully a lot more. So I guess it does make up for the fact, so we'll have two controllers technically. So I guess I didn't think about that either. So I guess either way, it can still be a decent handheld. But here, the next thing I don't get is they're not really setting themselves up, because now, what's the next console going to be? What's the next handheld console going to be? We don't know, because it's kind of taken over both of those territories. So that's kind of interesting to me. The next thing is the cartridges. Why they moved to cartridges? Well, just for the simple fact that it's easier to take information off of a cartridge faster than on a disc. And that's why games like if you have like an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4, why they download the game before you can even play it, is because so it can get the information off the disc faster than, like off the download rather, or something. I don't know. I think you just put the disc in so it knows that you own it. But either way, it's so it can get the information off the disc, or wherever it's getting it off of, faster, because otherwise it would just take forever because of how much stuff is loaded into those discs. While the NX doesn't need to do that, so whenever you get a new game, you just pop it in and it's fine, because it'll have so you can pull information off it faster without having to download anything. And that's just always how it's been. It's always been easier to take information off of cartridges. But again, since they're going to be really small cartridges, it's going to be fine. I kind of wish they still made the bigger ones, but it's not what everybody else wants. So yeah. That's kind of it. I was gonna say some other things, but I can't remember what they were, and plus I don't feel like there's much else to really talk about. But yeah, so definitely go ahead and watch the video if you haven't watched the video for the Nintendo Switch review, or for the Nintendo Switch announcement. It's really cool. It's so cool. And of course, the games that we saw in that video was the new Legend of Zelda, whatever that's going to be, I can't remember. A new Mario game. It's not like a 2D, it's a 3D Mario game, but I don't know what it is. It's a new one. Another Mario Kart game, which could just be Mario Kart 8 or a new one, like Mario Kart 9 maybe. And we also saw Splatoon and something else, I think. So I don't know if that's just like you can download Wii U games on your Nintendo Switch. Don't know yet. Again, it's so far from it being released that it's not entirely sure what everything is. But yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys later, and I'll be giving you guys information about the Nintendo Switch as we go on through the life of the Nintendo Switch. Well, like leading up to the Nintendo Switch. But yeah, so anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, just keep on Nintendoizing. If, that was weird, then we could. Yeah.